Look at a photo of your grandfather. Now look in the mirror. 50 years ago, the average man had nearly double the testosterone you have today. You think your fatigue is just aging? You think your disappearing drive is just stress? Wake up. Welcome to Reality Glitch. Right now, your kitchen is stocked with expensive, beautifully packaged superfoods that the corporate fitness industry swore would make you healthier. But here is the brutal, scientific truth. You are paying a premium price to chemically suppress your own biology. Behind the green labels, the plant-based marketing, and the heart-healthy logos hides a calculated cocktail of phytoestrogens, endocrine disruptors, and severe metabolic traps. You aren't losing your manhood to time, you are eating it away. Today, we are tearing the mask off the grocery store. We are exposing 20 so-called healthy foods that are silently, systematically tanking your testosterone. No mainstream fitness myths, just raw endocrinology. Let's unplug from the matrix. Number 1. The superfood castration, flaxseed. Let us start with the ultimate darling of the health and wellness industry, flaxseed. You see it everywhere. It is sprinkled on artisanal salads, blended into expensive post-workout smoothies, and baked into heart-healthy, multigrain breads. You are told it is a miraculous source of omega-3s and dietary fiber. What the glossy fitness magazines conveniently forget to mention is that flaxseed is the single most concentrated source of phytoestrogens on planet Earth. Specifically, flaxseed is loaded with a class of compounds called lignans. When you consume lignans, your gut bacteria convert them into enterolactone and enterodiol, which are chemical compounds that aggressively mimic the female hormone estrogen in your bloodstream. To give you some terrifying perspective, flaxseed contains up to 3 times more phytoestrogens than soybeans. Yes, you heard that right. It is significantly more estrogenic than soy. A landmark clinical study published in the Current Topics in Nutraceutical Research demonstrated that men consuming daily flaxseed experienced a devastating, measurable drop in both free and total testosterone within just a few weeks. You think you are protecting your heart, but functionally, you are initiating a low-dose chemical castration. Throw the flaxseed in the trash where it belongs. Number 2. The herbal shutoff valve, licorice root. You have a minor sore throat, or maybe you just want a soothing cup of herbal tea before bed, so you reach for a blend containing natural licorice root. It sounds harmless. It sounds like something an ancient healer would recommend. But your testicles completely disagree. True licorice root contains a highly active, incredibly potent compound called glyceric acid. This isn't just a flavor profile, it is a targeted biochemical weapon against your manhood. Glyceric acid directly and specifically blocks an enzyme known as 17-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. Why does that matter? Because that extremely specific enzyme is the exact catalyst your testicles use to convert androstenedione into pure testosterone. When you consume licorice root, you are literally reaching into your own endocrine system and turning the manufacturing valve to the off position. A famous study published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that healthy men who consumed normal amounts of licorice experienced a catastrophic drop in their serum testosterone levels in less than 7 days. Stop chewing on roots that shut down your biological machinery. Number 3. The minty fresh drop, spearmint and peppermint. Mint is everywhere. It is in your evening tea, your chewing gum, and your breath mints. It is universally marketed as the ultimate calming herb, a natural way to soothe your digestion and relax your nerves. Well, it certainly relaxes something. It puts your androgen production into a deep, irreversible coma. The menthol and highly concentrated essential oils found in spearmint and peppermint possess severe anti-androgenic properties. This isn't a fringe conspiracy theory, this is established medical science. In clinical endocrinology, concentrated spearmint extract is officially prescribed to women suffering from polycystic ovary syndrome, a condition where they have too much male hormone. Doctors use mint to aggressively kill off the excess testosterone in these women. And yet, you, a grown man trying to maintain your vitality, are drinking it by the mugful to wind down. Research published in Phytotherapy Research confirms that regular consumption of these mint teas leads to a significant suppression of circulating androgens. You are trading your masculine drive for a minty, fresh aftertaste. Stick to black tea, or better yet, drink water. Number 4. The plant muscle myth. Soy protein isolate. You are in a rush at the airport or the grocery store, and you grab a highly rated, healthy protein bar to feed your muscles. You flip it over, and right there in the ingredients, usually near the top, is soy protein isolate. The fitness industry loves to push this because it is dirt cheap to manufacture and sounds environmentally friendly. Let us get one thing straight. Isolated soy protein is not a vegetable. It is an ultra-processed, highly refined industrial construct. Unlike fermented soy, which has been eaten safely in small amounts for centuries in Asia, soy protein isolate is a highly concentrated blast of isoflavones, specifically genistein and daidzein. These isoflavones are notorious endocrine disruptors. When you ingest them in the massive, unnatural quantities found in protein bars and shakes, they flood your bloodstream, seek out your estrogen receptors, and bind perfectly to them. Your brain senses this massive surge of estrogenic activity and immediately signals your testicles to halt testosterone production to balance the scales. According to research in the Journal of Nutrition, long-term consumption of isolated soy phytoestrogens fundamentally alters your endocrine balance. You aren't building muscle. You are confusing your hormones on a molecular level. Number 5. The heart-healthy inflamer. Seed oils. Decades ago, corporate agriculture executed the greatest marketing scam in human history. They convinced the public that natural animal fats, like butter and tallow, were lethal, and that industrially extracted seed oils like canola, soybean, and sunflower oil were the glorious, heart-healthy future. You cook your vegetables in it, thinking you are a champion of longevity. Here is the brutal reality. These seed oils are hyper-concentrated in omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs. The molecular structure of PUFAs makes them incredibly unstable. When you heat them in a pan, or even when they just sit in your warm body, they oxidize violently. This oxidation creates a storm of free radicals and triggers massive systemic cellular inflammation. Your Leydig cells, the delicate microscopic factories inside your testicles that actually manufacture testosterone, are exquisitely sensitive to oxidative stress. When your body is inflamed by seed oils, these cells are effectively choked out. It is the biological equivalent of pouring coarse sand into a high-precision gearbox. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism has repeatedly linked high omega-6 systemic inflammation with depressed testicular function. Throw away the plastic bottles of yellow industrial lubricant and go back to the fats your grandfather used. Number 6. The Manly Illusion, Craft One PA Beer. You finish a hard week of work, meet up with the guys, and order a dark, bitter, high-alcohol India Pale Ale. Craft beer has been culturally branded as the ultimate beverage of the modern, rugged man. You stroke your beard and take a sip, feeling like a lumberjack. The tragic irony is that you are drinking a liquid estrogen bomb. The bitter flavor profile of IPAs is entirely reliant on extreme quantities of hops, and hops contain a specific chemical compound known as 8-prenylnaringenin, or 8-PN. In the world of botany and endocrinology, 8-PN is recognized as the single most powerful phytoestrogen naturally occurring in the plant kingdom. When you drink heavily hopped beer, you are directly infusing your bloodstream with high-grade plant estrogen. The famous beer belly and the development of soft tissue on a man's chest are not just the result of excess empty calories. It is a female hormone fat distribution pattern triggered by the hops. Research in the Journal of Endocrinology confirms the severe estrogenic payload of hops. You think you are drinking the nectar of the gods, but you are systematically feminizing your physique. Switch to a clean, clear spirit, or put the glass down entirely. Number 7. The diabetic sugar trap, agave nectar. You decided to cut out white sugar because you are a smart, health-conscious guy. Instead, you sweeten your morning oats and your black coffee with agave nectar. It sounds exotic. The label features a beautiful cactus, and the marketing promises a low glycemic index that won't spike your blood sugar. It sounds perfect. It is a biochemical nightmare. Agave nectar is not a natural health product. It is a highly refined syrup that is up to 90% pure, unadulterated fructose. For context, that is a significantly higher fructose concentration than the dreaded high fructose corn syrup found in cheap sodas. Unlike glucose, which your muscles and brain can use for immediate energy, fructose can only be metabolized by one organ, your liver. When you dump agave nectar into your system, your liver is overwhelmed and immediately converts that fructose into visceral fat, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Why does this destroy your testosterone? Because a stressed, damaged liver drastically ramps up the production of a protein called SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. This protein floats through your blood, grabs onto your free testosterone, and locks it in a biochemical prison, making it completely useless for building muscle, burning fat, or giving you energy. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition proves this exact metabolic pathway. Throw the agave in the trash. You are just paying a premium price for liver damage. Number 8. The chalky deception, low-fat yogurt. You walk down the dairy aisle and grab a family-sized tub of low-fat or fat-free yogurt. The label screams zero fat and high protein. It has been the staple diet of fitness models and health gurus for 20 years. But here is the dark secret of the food manufacturing industry. When you remove the natural fat from a dairy product, it tastes exactly like wet chalk. It is completely inedible. To make you buy it, corporations have to aggressively compensate by pumping it full of refined cane sugar, fruit concentrates, or highly engineered artificial sweeteners. When you eat a bowl of this low-fat sugar bomb, your pancreas panics and pumps out a massive emergency spike of insulin to clear the sugar from your blood. And here is where your manhood takes the hit. In the world of clinical endocrinology, insulin and testosterone operate on an absolute seesaw mechanism. When insulin levels are artificially forced sky-high by a sugary, low-fat yogurt, the biological pathways that signal testosterone production are instantly blocked. A study published in Clinical Endocrinology directly correlates high insulin spikes with an immediate, severe suppression of testosterone. If you are going to eat yogurt, eat the full-fat, unsweetened version, or don't eat it at all. Number 9. The poisoned armor, canned soups and beans. You are trying to get more protein and fiber, so you stock your pantry with canned black beans, lentils, and hearty vegetable soups. The nutritional profile of the actual food inside the can is perfectly fine, but the food is not the threat. The threat is the armor protecting the food. To prevent the metal of the can from rusting and spoiling the food, manufacturers coat the entire inside of the tin with a synthetic epoxy resin lining. This resin is manufactured using bisphenol A, commonly known as BPA, or its equally toxic chemical cousin, BPS. These chemicals are notorious, scientifically proven synthetic estrogens. When food sits inside these cans for months or years, especially acidic foods like tomato soups or beans sitting in liquid, the BPA slowly and continuously leaches out of the plastic lining and heavily contaminates the food. You eat the soup, and your bloodstream is flooded with synthetic xenoestrogens. Your brain's hypothalamus detects this massive wave of fake estrogen, assumes your hormone levels are dangerously out of balance, and sends an emergency signal to shut down all testicular testosterone production to compensate. The Fertility and Sterility Journal has documented the terrifying link between BPA exposure and severe endocrine disruption in men. Stop buying your health food in toxic metal coffins. Buy dried beans in a bag and boil them yourself. Number 10. The Pregnant Cow Cocktail. Commercial dairy milk. You drink a tall glass of milk every morning because since you were 5 years old, television commercials have told you it builds strong bones and provides essential protein. If you were drinking milk from a family farm 100 years ago, you would be fine. But modern, commercial dairy farming is an entirely different beast. To maximize profit and keep milk production at absolute maximum capacity, massive dairy corporations keep their cows in a near constant state of pregnancy. They are milked even through the late stages of gestation. Why is this a horror story for your hormones? Because the milk of a pregnant cow is absolutely saturated with massive, natural doses of bovine estrogen and progesterone. When you drink commercial supermarket milk, you are literally chugging a pregnant animal's hormone cocktail. Your human body absorbs these mammalian estrogens like a sponge. Research published in Pediatrics International highlighted the severe exposure to exogenous estrogens that comes purely from consuming commercial dairy. You think you are fueling your body with wholesome calcium, but you are drowning your endocrine system in a flood of maternal hormones. Switch to a clean, organic alternative, or cut out the liquid dairy entirely. Number 11. The Frankenstein patty, plant-based meats. The media and the food industry are aggressively pushing you to abandon real meat to save the planet. They want you to eat highly engineered, plant-based burgers that bleed like real beef. The packaging is green, the marketing is guilt-free, and you think you are making a healthy, modern choice. Let us look under the microscope. These fake meats are not vegetables pulled from a garden. They are highly volatile, industrial constructs. What is the foundation of these patties? A toxic combination of genetically modified soy protein isolate, heavily refined canola oil, and methylcellulose. You are essentially taking the phytoestrogen bomb of processed soy, mixing it with the severe omega-6 cellular inflammation of seed oils, and binding it together with synthetic chemicals. When you consume this fake meat, you are launching a two-front war on your testicles. The soy isoflavones mimic female hormones, while the industrial oils create systemic oxidative stress that damages your Leydig cells. The American Medical Association has raised serious red flags about the metabolic effects of these ultra-processed plant-based foods. You are not saving the planet. You are just sacrificing your own endocrine system to a corporate chemistry experiment. Eat a real, grass-fed steak. Number 12. The plastic hydration trap. Soft, bottled water. You are trying to stay hydrated, so you buy a massive case of cheap, soft, plastic water bottles from the supermarket. You keep them in your car, take them to the gym, and drink them all day. It is just water, right? The purest thing on earth. The water isn't the problem. The delivery system is a biological hazard. Those cheap, crinkly bottles are made of PET plastic. When these bottles are exposed to any kind of heat, like sitting in the back of a hot delivery truck or baking in the trunk of your car, the plastic begins to rapidly degrade. As it breaks down, it leaches a class of industrial chemicals called phthalates directly into the water. Phthalates are not just toxins. They are classified by endocrinologists as aggressive anti-androgens. This means that when they enter your bloodstream, they actively seek out and block the cellular receptors where your testosterone is supposed to attach. Your body might be making testosterone, but the phthalates physically prevent your muscles and brain from actually using it. Research published in Environmental Health Perspectives directly correlates high phthalate exposure with significantly lowered circulating testosterone in adult men. Drink from glass, or drink from high-quality stainless steel. Stop drinking hormone-blocking soup. Number 13. The microwave chemical fire. Microwave popcorn. You want a late-night snack that won't ruin your diet? You pop a flat paper bag of light or low-calorie popcorn into the microwave for 3 minutes. It is a whole grain, low in fat, and seems like the perfect innocent treat while you watch a movie. But you are ignoring the terrifying chemistry of the packaging. Think about it. How does a paper bag hold boiling hot, liquid artificial butter without leaking through the bottom? The answer is synthetic chemical engineering. The entire inside of that bag is coated with perfluoroalkyl substances, commonly known as PFAS. These are notorious forever chemicals. When you blast that bag with microwave radiation, the extreme heat causes the PFAS to vaporize and permanently bind to the fats in the popcorn. You eat the popcorn, and these forever chemicals enter your bloodstream, where they will stay for years because your body possesses zero biological mechanisms to break them down. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology has published alarming studies linking PFAS accumulation to severe disruptions in testicular function and depressed hormone synthesis. You are trading a low-calorie snack for permanent chemical contamination. Buy raw kernels and pop them in a cast-iron skillet. Number 14. The toxic pink illusion, farm-raised salmon. Cardiologists tell you to eat more fish, specifically salmon, for those incredible omega-3 fatty acids. So, you go to the supermarket and buy a thick, bright pink fillet of Atlantic salmon. You grill it up, thinking you are doing your heart and your hormones a massive favor. Here is the dirty secret of the commercial fishing industry. Almost all cheap salmon in the supermarket is farm-raised in crowded, filthy ocean pens. Wild salmon gets its pink color from eating krill in the open ocean. Farm-raised salmon are fed a cheap, ultra-processed diet of soy pellets, chicken fat, and artificial pink dyes just so the meat doesn't look completely gray. Because they live in cramped, contaminated conditions, their fat absorbs massive amounts of industrial runoff, specifically polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs. PCBs are brutal, heavily documented endocrine disruptors. When you eat the fatty belly of a farmed salmon, you're absorbing a concentrated dose of these chemicals, which scramble your hormone signals and suppress testosterone production. A massive global assessment published in Science magazine highlighted the extreme levels of organic contaminants in farmed salmon. If it isn't wild caught, leave it at the fish counter. Number 15. The gut microbiome massacre, diet soda. You are trying to lose that stubborn belly fat, so you swap your regular sugary soda for the diet or zero version. It has 0 calories, 0 sugar, and supposedly 0 impact on your waistline. The fitness industry celebrates it as a cheat code for weight loss. But your endocrine system is not a simple calculator of calories. Those artificial sweeteners, specifically sucralose and aspartame, are chemical assassins for your digestive tract. When you consume them daily, they systematically wipe out the beneficial bacteria in your gut microbiome. Why does your gut matter for your manhood? Because a healthy, thriving gut microbiome is the primary filtration system responsible for sweeping excess, used-up estrogen out of your body. When artificial sweeteners destroy your gut flora, your body loses the ability to excrete estrogen. The female hormone gets recycled and reabsorbed straight back into your bloodstream, completely throwing off your testosterone to estrogen ratio. The Molecules Journal has extensively documented the destructive impact of artificial sweeteners on gut health and metabolic function. You aren't hacking your diet, you are systematically poisoning your body's ability to flush out female hormones. Drink sparkling water. Number 16. The herbicide breakfast, instant flavored oatmeal. Oatmeal is the gold standard of a healthy, masculine breakfast. It fuels athletes and bodybuilders. So you buy the convenient boxes of instant flavored oatmeal, maple brown sugar or apple cinnamon. You pour boiling water over it and eat it in 2 minutes. You are making 2 fatal errors. First, instant flavored oatmeal is heavily pulverized and loaded with refined sugar, which guarantees a massive insulin spike that immediately halts testosterone production. Second, and far more terrifying, is the agricultural reality of commercial oats. To dry the oat crops out quickly before harvest, industrial farmers aggressively spray them with glyphosate, the active chemical in Roundup weed killer. Because oats are so porous, they absorb the glyphosate directly into the grain. Boiling water does not remove it. The World Health Organization has classified glyphosate as a probable human carcinogen, and the Toxicology Journal has identified it as a severe endocrine disruptor that physically interferes with the chemical pathways your body uses to synthesize steroid hormones. You think you are eating a wholesome, heart-healthy grain, but you are eating a bowl of insulin-spiking agricultural chemicals. Buy organic, steel-cut oats and sweeten them yourself. Number 17. The rigid cell wall, margarine and plant butters. You were told that butter clogs your arteries, so you switched to margarine or trendy, vegan plant butters. The packaging promises zero cholesterol and a healthy cardiovascular system. It is a biochemical lie that has crippled the hormone profiles of millions of men. Margarine and cheap plant butters are made from liquid vegetable oils that have been subjected to an extreme industrial process called hydrogenation. This forces hydrogen gas into the oil to make it solid at room temperature. The result? Trans fats and highly mutated lipid structures. Your cells use the fats you eat to build their outer membranes. When you eat hydrogenated oils, the membranes of your cells become rigid, stiff, and dysfunctional. Remember those Leydig cells in your testicles that make testosterone? They literally cannot pull the necessary raw materials, like healthy cholesterol, through their walls if those walls are made of stiff, industrial trans fats. The Asian Journal of Andrology has highlighted how diets high in these mutated fats drastically lower semen quality and serum hormone levels. Throw out the yellow plastic tub and eat real, grass-fed butter. Your hormones require healthy, saturated animal fats to survive. Number 18. The candy bar disguise. Commercial protein bars. You finish a heavy lifting session and immediately tear open a commercial protein bar to feed your recovering muscles. It has 20 grams of protein and a picture of a flexing bicep on the wrapper. It is the ultimate fitness food. Turn the wrapper over and read the fine print. Most commercial protein bars are nothing more than glorified candy bars wearing a fitness disguise. They are held together by inflammatory palm or soybean oils, cheap soy lecithin, and either massive amounts of high fructose syrups or gut-destroying sugar alcohols. This toxic combination triggers profound systemic inflammation and severe insulin resistance. When your cells become resistant to insulin because of the daily barrage of processed junk disguised as protein, your body's entire hormonal cascade collapses. The Journal of the Endocrine Society has published extensive data linking insulin resistance directly to androgen deficiency in adult men. Stop treating ultra-processed chocolate bars as a health supplement. Eat a hard-boiled egg or a piece of actual meat. Number 19. The mold-proof carbohydrate, commercial whole wheat bread. You gave up white bread because you know it's garbage. You buy the expensive, dark brown, 100% whole wheat bread that sits on the supermarket shelf. It feels like a mature, healthy, responsible choice for your sandwiches. But have you ever wondered how a loaf of moist wheat bread can sit on a supermarket shelf for 3 weeks without growing a single spot of mold? It is not magic. It is chemical preservation. Factory-baked breads are heavily treated with industrial preservatives, most notably calcium propionate. While it stops fungus from growing on the bread, it wreaks havoc inside your body. Clinical trials on both mice and humans, published in Science Translational Medicine, have shown that consuming calcium propionate triggers a significant metabolic stress response. It causes an unnatural spike in glucose and insulin, leading to insulin resistance over time. As we know, anything that drives chronic insulin elevation is a direct biological enemy of testosterone and human growth hormone. You're eating bread that is chemically engineered to never decompose, and it is quietly destroying your metabolic flexibility. Buy fresh sourdough from a local bakery, or don't eat bread at all. Number 20. The adrenal exhaustion, sugar-free energy drinks. You are feeling sluggish before a workout, or you need to power through a long afternoon at the office. You grab a brightly colored, aggressively branded, sugar-free energy drink. It promises extreme focus, massive energy, and zero crash. What it actually delivers is total adrenal exhaustion. These drinks combine mega doses of synthetic, lab-created caffeine with a harsh cocktail of artificial sweeteners and stimulants. When you chug one of these, you artificially force your adrenal glands into absolute overdrive. Your body reacts as if you are being chased by a predator, flooding your bloodstream with cortisol, the primary stress hormone. Here is the uncompromising rule of human biology. Testosterone and cortisol are antagonistic. They are enemies. When your cortisol levels skyrocket due to extreme artificial stimulation, the molecular pathways required for testosterone synthesis are immediately and violently shut down. Your body prioritizes survival over reproduction and vitality. Research in psychosomatic medicine proves that the cortisol response from high-dose caffeine directly impacts androgen levels. You aren't getting energy, you are borrowing it from your endocrine system at an extortionate interest rate, and your testosterone is paying the price. Drink black coffee and get some actual sleep. There they are, 20 supposed health foods that are sitting in your pantry right now, quietly and efficiently sabotaging your biology. You have been fighting a war for your health while the corporate food industry has been supplying you with poison. Your testosterone is the foundation of your drive, your physical strength, and your mental clarity. It is not something that naturally disappears when you hit 40. It is something that is systematically stripped away by industrial agriculture, endocrine disruptors, and brilliant marketing lies. It is time to stop playing by their rules. Stop eating out of crinkly plastic packages. Stop buying into the low-fat, highly processed illusions, and start feeding your body the raw, single-ingredient foods your biology actually recognizes. Take your health back. Unplug from the matrix. We will see you next time on Reality Glitch.